Zimbabwe's President Robert Mugabe and opposition leader Morgan Tsvangirai agreed to share power after months of negotiations. The deal aims to end the political turmoil that followed the country's disputed presidential elections in March. Under the agreement, Mr. Mugabe, in power since 1980, will remain president, while Mr. Tsvangirai, head of the Movement for Democratic Change, will be prime minister. He called on Zimbabwe's rival parties to work together.
The hand with which I signed this agreement is the hand I extend to President Mugabe for the well-being of our nation, in my pledge to work with all leaders of Zimbabwe to bring our nation back to life.
On the streets of Zimbabwe's capital, Harare, thousands celebrated.
I'm hoping that is going to improve things because things have been bad for so long.
The economy is going down, and since the two parties have signed together, I just think the havocs, the fightings and the stuff, I think everything just comes to an end and everything will be all right.
Zimbabwe's economy is in disarray. Food shortages are chronic, unemployment is at a record high, and the country has the world's highest inflation rate, 11 million%. In the new government, Mr. Mugabe's ZANU-PF party will control 15 ministerial positions. Opposition factions will control 16. Arthur Metambara leads a smaller opposition groups. He will be deputy prime minister.
Now, President Mugabe, President Tsvangirai, let's walk the talk and deliver on the promise of the dialogue process.
Mr. Mugabe is 84 years old and has led Zimbabwe since independence from Britain. Analysts say the agreement is groundbreaking because the two men have been bitter enemies for a decade. Mr. Tsvangirai has been jailed, tortured, and tried for treason, but the charges were dismissed in court. In the election campaign in March, many supporters of Mr. Tsvangirai were arrested and some were killed. Mr. Tsvangirai, in the end, withdrew. Briggs Bamba, a programmer with Africa Action in Washington, says certain elements are needed for the deal to succeed.
I think time is going to tell whether these parties to this deal are going to be able to work together, because that's, as I said earlier on, going to be critical to this whole thing working. And secondly, the issue of whether there's going to be international support to support this whole new arrangement. And thirdly, I think the evolving of internal democratic institutions and the strengthening of civil society to oversee and play a watchdog role over this whole new arrangement, so that you do not have a repetition of the same old policies that plunged Zimbabwe in the abyss it is in right now.
Reaction from the international community has been positive. U.S. State Department spokesman Sean McCormick.
And it is our hope for Zimbabwe and the Zimbabwean people that they can now move forward.
Sanctions were imposed on the Mugabe government by the European Union. The EU says it will review details of the deal before sanctions are lifted. Morgan Tsvangirai said the new government's first priority will be addressing food shortages, which have made it hard for many Zimbabweans to find food. Simkins, VOA News.